This video was taken from inside the Apollo 14 lunar lander, the Antares. And the video actually starts when the lunar lander pitches over and starts descending for its landing. And during that time, you're going to be able to see through the windows of this lunar lander. You're going to be able to see the lunar surface, and there's artifacts there. So when we get to these different anomalies and artifacts, I'm going to stop the video and explain it to you. So let's take a look.
Okay, there's pitch over. 64, we have pitch over, Houston. There's 12. Roger. And there it is. Right on the money. Right on the money. Let's see.
Now, once you take a good look at the surface, you're going to notice these areas that look foggy. This is the obfuscation that they used to cover up some of these structures that can be seen, especially from this altitude from the lunar lander.
LPD 41. Okay. Back. That is a 41. Beautiful. Right out the window, just like how it is. Great. Okay. There's Houston. You're go for landing. Here we go. Thank you, sir. 3,000. Back next. Okay, you're out of 3,000 now. 75 feet a second. Okay, that LPD. Hey, okay. Houston, I'm on app. Roger, Ed. Okay, 2,000. 48 feet. Okay. Outstanding.
In this image, we have Cone Crater, which is here, and it looks like there was a tunnel system that went into Cone Crater. Of course, Cone Crater was covered by a glass dome, and you're fixing to see one that has collapsed inward, because before Antares lands, it goes right over one of Triplet's craters, which actually was a set of 3 glass domes, and it's going to show the structure that held the glass into place where it collapsed into it. This one here apparently had collapsed earlier on, and that's the reason you have these tunnels going into it, because this was sealed off at one time. Right here is a structure that is flipped up here, and this was some type of structure that covered the top of these tunnels. In fact, if you look over here, you can see where this one that covered the top of this tunnel system had collapsed in, and the structure kicks up a little bit and sticking out where it's collapsed, and then there's a shadow underneath it right here.
Okay, 1,500. Little fast, not bad. Holding in well. LPD 40 out. Okay, coming through 1,000 feet. 27 feet, right on schedule. Right on schedule now. Went by Cone Crater right outside to my right. Okay, the best spot is full south of track, about halfway between Triplet and Douglas. Full south of track.
Now, since we passed Cone Crater, you're going to start to see these glass towers, these bright spots with this dark spot at a point. The bright spots are the glass towers. These dark pointed parts are the shadow. Of course, there's one here and here.
Okay, about 60 meters. And it looks good from here. The fuel is good.
Then in this image, here's one here. There's a shadow for it, and there's some smaller ones and some larger ones. Of course, as they drop in altitude, you'll be able to see them somewhat a little better.
10%. Okay, let's take it over and move it up a little. Yeah, I think so. You're through 320 feet. Okay.
Okay, here's one. It's almost directly over it. See the glass tower. Then you can see the shadow with the point on it, which of course shows the shape of the tower.
Give it a few clicks. You're through 200 feet. About 8 per second. That looks good. No level here. 9% fuel looks great.
Now this tower is pretty tall, and you can tell by the shadow that's on the lunar surface how long it is.
Okay, looks like you're going right over the middle of Triplet. You're 170 feet out, 2 feet per second down, 8%.
And then there's quite a few of these glass towers. There's one here, here, here. They're all over this surface right before you get to triplet craters.
You're looking good. Hey, babe. Okay, 170 feet and holding. 1 foot per second down.
Okay, there was a glass dome that actually covered all three of these what looks like craters. And these glass domes were not made out of solid glass. They had a metal structure, and then the glass was probably inlaid into the structure to give it even more strength. Now, some of these structures, because they're in the millions of years old, have deteriorated quite a bit, but some of the structures are still visible. So right here, perfect 90 degrees, which means this was intelligently and artificially made. And then these other long structures here, you can see them. You can see right here where this is angled inward. Let me get a little bit closer.
Speed it up a little bit. Stand by, move forward. Okay.
Because this glass dome was so heavy from the glass and the metal structure, of course, it deteriorated and collapsed down. And when it did, this metal structure was pulled partially into this facility. You can tell by the way it's bent, and you can see the structures inside was what once was a glass dome. And you can see a perfect 90 degrees here where the structure overlapped this other structure. Now these two up here, they're sticking straight out over what looks like a crater. Apparently when this glass dome collapsed, it broke off here, and then of course in some parts it bent and then broke off, and then some of it was dragged into it. Okay everyone, thanks for watching. This is Tony with Earth Files Earth History signing out.